The shock is an economic policy uncertainty shock, not a liquidity shock as yet. So I think I'm not surprised that the market is swinging around because, we have been used to a lot of liquidity shocks in the past where, markets take stress and it's very quick and sharp. This is more about, where is the economy going to end up in 6 months or 12 months' time. So in that, with that context, our defensive exposures are focused on, firstly, thinking about will this bond and equity correlation story stay, which is like bonds have been doing still quite well versus equities when they come under pressure. A, will that stay if inflation becomes stickier? And then B, what is the role of, for example, precious and gold, for example, downside protection through options, and then defensive stocks in this environment which are away from tariffs and risk around that. I think that's where our focus is. And then diversification is your friend here. So last 2 years, it has been, diversification had a negative risk premium. But it is now coming back that diversification actually in portfolios can be quite useful attribute to have. And I think that stays in place for the next several months.
How much certainty do you have around what you see in European equities at the moment?
Very important question, Guy, in that sense that, firstly, let's start with who is buying Europe firstly. I think that's important. Firstly, Europeans are buying Europe. We have not seen US buying of Euro happen yet. Right? So a lot of flow has been Europeans, investors who have been underweighting Europe because of various reasons over the last few years, maximum sucking
they're taking
capital
money out of the States and putting money, they're putting their money back.
Exactly, and they are now bringing it back. Just to give you a sense of the numbers, UK exposure to US securities as a percentage of GDP is more than 100% now. 125%. For Switzerland. And these numbers used to be 30% 15 years ago. So a lot of capital went to the US, and I think that's domestic capital coming back. But US capital so far has not entered Europe. So that's important in terms of the next leg of demand. If there is a structural shift in the Europe's outlook beds in.